There's a joke in there about airplanes too. If you're on an airplane and you ever wonder why there's a propeller on the front going around and around and around and around, you'll take note that it's there to keep the pilot cool because it is a simple and proven fact. If that thing stops turning while you're flying the plane, you can almost instantly take note of the tiny beads of perspiration building on the pilot's forehead. Happens almost instantly. It's a bad joke, okay? Hi, I'm Nelson, and welcome to South Paths. Today, I was talking to my fiance, Esley, Filipina, Esley, and we were talking about the differences between Filipinas and Western women, and the differences I think are huge. they're like vast. They're as vast as the big blue Pacific Ocean itself. Long story short, I don't understand Western women. I mean, I'm sure you guys have the same kind of problem. You either don't understand them or you understand them in a negative light. Few of us understand them in a positive light. I think it all comes down to our success with them. I think that the chances of finding a Western woman, getting married, settling down, and meeting your final days with a Western woman. I mean, as a young man, in the traditional sense, you hook up with somebody in your 20s and you're there until you die when you're 76. You know, the percentage chance of that happening, and you both actually still caring about each other in a real, genuine fashion after that many years has gone by, and how after that many, how do you call it, that much evolution as individuals you've both gone through in your lives, apart from your marriage, as individuals, that you still have it together, that you are still a tight, cohesive pair, is probably under 10%, I would say. The first thing you got is the divorce stats. And these are statistics taken from court records. These are not things made up by people on the internet. I mean, you know, depending on your locale in the US or in Canada, in Australia, in England, I'm sure the numbers vary to a degree depending on geographic location. But it can safely be said that any marriage today is a 50-50 proposition as far as will it work out or not. So you got 50% of us get divorced. And if you're married more than once, the chance of divorce increases from 50% to 65 or something to into the 70s on a third marriage, 70% plus divorce rate. So people get bitter and they become hypersensitive to things that existed in the first and second marriage that they're very watchful for. And when they think they see that in the third person or in the second person, they bolt or want to bolt. Their attitude towards the individual changes and they want to get the hell out of there. And so the divorce comes faster and more likely. Myself, I was not very lucky. I'm one of these people that anything I earned in my life, I had to basically work for twice. And there's a lot of guys like me. You know, some people would say we just keep making the same mistakes, so we keep coming to the same conclusions, and maybe that's true. I don't have anybody that's able to run through the exact opportunities and bad parts of my life to determine all the mistakes I made to get to where I am today, which is not in a great place. I mean, this is a great place. You know, I'm happy the way it worked out. I'm fortunate that way so far, knock on wood. There's lots of wood around here, but not where I'm sitting. But as far as the West goes, I would never marry again. I would never do it. Something will go wrong. And when the entire society has that mindset, it can't help but each individual will have failures in their own personal lives, including marriage and relationships. It's going to happen. So that's the first thing, or the second thing. Stats being the first thing. And out of the people that stay married, how many of them stay married because they're happy, genuinely happy with the situation and happy with their mate and happy with their life and overall very positive about the whole thing? I would call that 15 or 20% of us. So now you're down to quite a bit more to being married and being happy. Some of us stay married because the kids, finances are intertwined, the complications of getting a divorce cleanly without a lot of financial or emotional damage. Lots of reasons why you don't get divorced. Maybe there's some bad points about him or bad points about her, but the majority is better than bad. So you be, what do you say? What is the term? Pragmatic about it. And you say, well, I'll stay. It's not so bad. I hear the horror stories from my friends who have been divorced and they're on the dating game. They're going out there dating and stuff, or they have relationships that blow up on a regular basis, and I don't want any of that. So they look over at their partner and they say, well, they're not this and they're not that, but man, they're not that and they're not this either. So I'll keep them. And maybe that's the secret. You accept the bad with the good. You try to accentuate the good points, downplay the bad points, and try to just gently sand the bad part of the other person out of themselves over time and have it work out for you that way. So we stay. But the chances of us being happily married at the end of life, 5%, 10%. That's not good odds, man. I mean, it's like this. If it's a 50% chance of a divorce rate, okay, let me ask you this. Would you willingly get on an airplane with a person who is going to willfully crash that plane, land it in a way that is not going to be good for your health? If it's a 50-50, would you get in a plane that's going to crash? 50-50. No. So why get married? Why mix up your finances with another human being that has the state behind them to tear your finances to shreds when the other person decides that, they're not happy? Irreconcilable differences, Your Honor. He farts, he snores. I have to sleep in the other room. Come on, man. So anyway, yeah, there's that. Yeah. I don't see any point in getting married in the West anymore. I personally, I don't know if I'm just really bad at picking individuals or if I'm really a bad individual myself, although I don't think I am, I mean, here in the Philippines where I live in my little village here, people think of me as a good, decent human being who helps others as I can, and I'm a pleasant Joe, and nobody has a problem with me, and everybody smiles when I go by, and some people even refer to me as sir. I don't know why, but anyway, humility, I guess. I try to keep a good dose of that right up front, humility, because I've learned more here from these people, and guaranteed you will learn more from them than they can ever learn from you, seriously, about the important things, about life, about love, about coexisting peacefully, and how to fix things if there's a problem. And it's done non-violently, and it's done to the satisfaction of both parties, and nobody goes away with a crap deal. It's basically mostly, I mean it happens, but most of the time it doesn't happen. I picked two women from the West, got involved with purchasing a house with both of them, and both times I lost the house. Separation. One was separation because we weren't married, but the laws don't protect you just because you're not married to her. It doesn't matter. And the first girl, she got the house, and I didn't. And she sold that house, golly, 2 years after we moved into it for double what we paid for it. I didn't see not a dime, not a penny. She didn't even throw me a bone. No email, nothing. Just whatever. I'm sure she's doing just fine now. And the second was a marriage that went south. And the last thing that we did together was to buy a home. And, boom, Bob's your uncle, out you go. And here's the thing I found, and I don't know if this correlates with you guys. So tell me in the comments, please, if this is your experience. The first girl I was with for 2 years, 3 years, we bought a house. And then 2 to 3 months later, all of a sudden, I was no good, not good enough. And the second time, I was with her for 25 years, 26 years. And then 2.5 years after I bought the house with her, I was out. So it's like 10% of the time after you've made this major purchase with them and made one of their dreams come true, you get the old heave-ho. Out you go, bud. It's like it's a 10% rule or something. Is this the case for you guys? Let me know in the comments. Is it a 10% rule? Is this real? If it is, then we've just found the financial secret to how long we can keep them happy and around. Anyway. Yeah. Living here has been great. Dating in Canada, ugh. It was about 8 years between major engagements for me. In each case where I had a major arrangement and it crashed, I would basically be single and have a few short-term, varying length relationships between the next major one that stuck more than the typical 30 to 90 days or to a year kind of thing. Longer than that. 8 years between. So the last time I exploded, it blew up. I decided I wasn't going to spend 8 years from the age of 58 to the age of 66 waiting for the next one. I wasn't going to do that, but I also wasn't going to do it in America anymore. I wasn't going to do it in Canada. No more. No way. No thanks. Sorry. It's hot today, it's humid, and my 40 years of smoking, although I've quit, is still there, and it's a causation. I cough. Anyhow, yeah, I wasn't going to do it there again. There were a couple of girls there who would have loved to have had me, but I just, I didn't want to do it again. I just nope. It's like that guy Scotty on Star Trek said, at some point a man comes to the conclusion that he just can't fall in love again. And you can, but not where you were, not with the people you were with. You have to go to a new world, with different values and different wallpaper, look around, and a different lifestyle in complete and absolute wholesale change from where you were to where you are now. It's like being reborn. Your attitude about things changes completely because everything around you has no correlation with where you've been before. It all changes. And it's like being reborn. It's all new every day, everything, all things are different here. Don't get married in the West again. Don't do it. Look outside the box, please. And consider investing in yourself. You know, you invest in your stock market account, you invest in your son, you invest in your daughter, you invest in your financial well-being, you invest in things, but you never invest in you, Daryl. You never invest in you just don't do it. You're too busy being provider, protector for everybody else in this world, and you don't take care of yourself. Do that. Look overseas. Research overseas. See what's out there. I can tell you, Asli has been a godsend to me, my girl here, Asli. There she is. A couple of photos for you guys. She's cute, eh? Yeah. She's a cutie. Anyway, she's as nice as she looks, let me tell you. She is a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart, and she's adapted as much to meeting my needs and my expectations as I've adapted to meet hers. It's very cohesive, it's very real, it's very nice. She will be stubborn as nails about some things, but only when she has no other option. It's not a used thing, and she doesn't pull it out like a weapon. She doesn't do it. Not a chance. Not a chance. She cuddles with me when we go to sleep every night. And I have no issues. Nothing. I have no complaints. Zero. Zero. And Western women today have a reputation. Most of them, ask any divorced man. Anyway, I can get some hate mail for that. It's all right. I only know what I've known. And I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a mean guy. I'm not abusive. I don't swear. I don't cuss. I don't play mind games. I don't threaten. I don't cajole. I don't lie. I don't cheat. I don't steal. You know? But maybe I should have. I get more respect. I have no idea. I have no clue what makes them tick successfully. But I know I'm being really harsh. But I only know what I know. One thing that all men can probably share as an experience is this. If someone they care about leaves them, betrays them, lies, cheats, steals, and leaves your ass, and you haven't done anything wrong, you've been going to work regularly, you come home, you hand her the paycheck, she takes care of the bills, you take care of the house, and you know, that's how it is, right? So maybe that needs to change, but you turn around and some guy comes along, you know, at work, at her work, or at bingo. Maybe when she's out shopping one day, some guy, they just bump into each other and conversation starts, and then they see each other again a couple of months later, and somebody starts to think, oh, well, maybe I was supposed to meet him, and maybe we should have coffee. And then it goes from there. And you haven't done anything wrong. You're just boring old Bob who brings home the paycheck every 2 weeks like you have for the last 20, 25 years. Suddenly your value plummets. Women live on emotion. Men live by principle. Well, hopefully we do. Please try to. But women, they don't live by principle. Not in the West. They live on emotion. They are only going to be loyal to their own feelings. Only their own feelings. And that's another thing I've noticed. I noticed in my time there, and I've discovered that. When a woman is talking to you about something in a relationship and she's seriously upset about something, she's not complaining about the problem, what the problem is. What she's doing is she's letting you know if she's happy or not. If she stops caring about the little things, she's not happy. If she If she stops caring if you go out drinking with the boys, she doesn't care if you go out anymore. Like she used to care all the time. She would spit nails, and now she just lets you go ahead and do it. And you think she's just come around to the realization that you're not doing anything wrong. You just want to go out and have a beer with the guys, and it shouldn't be a problem. And you've stuck to your guns so long about it, and finally she gives up arguing about it and she lets you go and do it. Well, there's a couple of things going on there. Number one, she's given up on the idea of making you do anything. And number two, she's given up on the idea of wanting you around on a regular basis. So she's like getting used to you not being there. When she gets to that point, she's already gone. She's already gone. All she needs is to have the right guy come along and, the right monkey to come swinging by and to hang that branch down for her to grab onto, and she's off into the sunset with the next one. And then you got all the time in the world to spend drinking with your buddies, will be her defense in court. Now you can just go do what you want, she'll say. So anyhow, in the Philippines, you find a good Filipina. And I think most Filipinas are good. I think us guys come here and we expect miracles. You don't get miracles. It's harder in some ways because not only do you have to start a new relationship with a human being, you're now starting from a position that you don't really know the right thing to do in a given situation in a society that has very little to do with values and concepts from the society you came from. It's all different here. So the way they're going to respond to you is different here. And you got to be really quick to pick up on that stuff so that you're successful with a relationship that is real and true and cohesive and actual bonding takes place. Seriously. Ashley and I, we had a few little moments, everybody does, where we had to get some stuff hammered out and sorted out, and we did, to the satisfaction of both of us. And our relationship is great, 100% beautiful. I trust her. I have no reason not to. She trusts me. She has no reason not to. I can go out, take off, go to the store, pick up groceries, whatever I want. I can wear whatever I want. If I want to put on cologne, she doesn't care. She doesn't automatically come to the conclusion that I'm chasing people. I'm just putting the cologne on so I don't smell like me when I'm on a hot jeepney with a bunch of other people in there. And I don't want to smell like my own, So you can have a shower. You can have a nice cooling shower and use all the soap you want. But man, you get out there, you walk 15 minutes to the road when it's 36 degrees Celsius and like 90 degrees Fahrenheit. You walk to the road 15 minutes and you stand out there on the pavement, hot pavement in the burning sun, with just your hat for company, or maybe an umbrella if you really want to look kind of funny as a grown silverback male with an umbrella to keep the sun off your precious head. Then you get on a jeepney with 12 other people. You don't want to be the guy on the jeepney that they're all talking about when you get off and go, oh my God. Ashley is a beautiful, beautiful individual. I wouldn't trade her for nobody. No one. So anyway, think outside the box. Invest in yourself. Look at the options. Divorce is a bitch. Please don't give it the opportunity to take you down a third time or even a second time. And that's about it, I guess. I'm going to have maybe 1 or 2 more videos before I go back to Canada, because it's that time I got to get back there and I got to go back to work, pay some bills, and save some more money for returning here to spend my next 6 months with Ashley. Until retirement time at 65, which is 2.5 years away, I'm going to have to continue to do that. So 2 more times, and it's fine. All right. Thank you, guys. Please consider subscribing, like, share, comment, and, give me your 2 bits. I like to know what's going out there in the minds of the people who are watching my videos. What do you think? All right. I'm Nelson. This is South Paths. See ya. For those of you who are curious about the set, what does the rest of it look like? You want to live there? I don't know about that either. Yours, only 1.5 million pesos for this beautiful artesian home and surrounding grounds. Basically, the tree line to the tree line to the fence up there in the distance is the property. Last I heard, you could buy this for 1.5 million. But I don't know, is this your kind of house? I'd say it needs a little work. Would be an understatement. But you never know. Anyway, that's it. Bye.